It's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Well, this is a very big day for me. We just went over 3,000 subscribers today, and although this is going to be into the future a few days, I wanted to celebrate with my friends from Rubber Stamp Tapestry because Rebecca and Donnie, the owners, have given me this extreme privilege of working with them, and when I hit 3,000 subscribers, they offered to give me my own promotional code of 15% off everything in the store. Now you're probably thinking, well, Lindsay has one that's 20% off, but Lindsay's is only for red rubber stamps. Mine is for everything in this store, and I am so grateful to them for doing this. I get nothing out of this. It's just the thrill of being able to have 3,000 subscribers, and to thank you for that, and to thank my friends at Rubber Stamp Tapestry who have been so supportive of me through this entire year and a half. So with that being said, I thought I would make a nice little card using their stamps, including their new sentiment stamps that have just come out, and this one is called Uplifting Sentiments, and it's got these lovely thinking of you, which is the one I'm using. Bless your heart, happiness, celebrate, think happy, forever gratitude, family together. I just thought it was really a nice set of stamps, so I'm using thinking of you as well as two other sets. And the bicycle came from, sorry, I just wrote it on here, Just Add Flowers, and the little birdhouse, the birds, and the little flowers came from Country Lane. It should say Country Lane instead of County Lane. I just forgot the R because I'm great typing. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this, and what I did was I don't put anything behind my red rubber stamps. You can see that I just used a little bit of Aleene's Tack It over and over. I put that on the back of them, and then I put it in either the MISTI or the Stamp Perfect, and then they stay really well. They come off really easy, and then I can just put them back in their box. So I'm going to put that aside. I just wanted to show you that because obviously I've already stamped it. And I thought what I would do is use a bunch of the little peg stamps and stamp a bunch of flowers in my basket and just kind of around the bottom. And then I thought I would use alcohol markers to color in the other things that are in the background. I'm going to stamp this grass stamp so I have some grass to be able to tie everything together. And I think I'm going to be using Old Olive, or else, yeah, Old Olive is what I like. I might have to go darker, but I hope not. This is Old Olive. It's a Stampin' Up ink. It's a dye-based ink. And people have been asking me lately, what's the difference between dye-based ink and pigment inks? A dye-based ink is an ink that sinks into the paper, so you don't get as crisp of an image with a dye-based ink as you do with a pigment ink. But a pigment ink will sink into the paper, and the color that you see on the pad is the color you end up with on your paper. The thing that's cool about that is that that is the case. If you see the side of the ink pad, that is the color that you're going to have on your paper. The bad part about it is it takes a really long time to dry. So you usually have to heat set it in order to get it to dry, or put embossing powder over it and do it that way. Same thing, you'd want to heat set it. So I'm just kind of putting grass here and there, and I want to make sure that I get a little bit on that one set of flowers. If you ever see me do this, you know I just kind of play with my grass however, like my stamp, I use it however I can make it work. And in this case, I can't get enough under this little bird over here and these flowers and those flowers. So what I'll do is I'll take my Old Olive marker and I will fill in little dashes that look like grass. I'm going to put some right there. Missed completely. What else is new? Gotta go up higher, I think. There we go. A little bit more. Okay, back to telling you about pigment and dye inks. So when you use a pigment ink, you have really bright colors and it's really nice. And the dye inks you use because they dry fast and they're easier to use. But the new Distress Oxide inks are cool because they are like a pigment ink in that the color you see is the color that ends up on the paper, and they dry quickly. plus they're water reactive like Distress inks are. So it has a lot of really cool aspects to it. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm waiting. I think I'm waiting for the second round to come out to see which colors I actually want. I haven't decided yet what I want to do, but that's my plan right now. I'm going to get a marker that's an Old Olive marker, and I'm going to use that on the little fine point, and I'm just going to put some little pieces of grass here and there so that these blend together. Alright, we're going to put a little bit more grass in here just around our little birdie. So that takes care of our grass level. I can also use that the duster brush to go around those, and I probably will at the end so that I have a really good color on it. So I think what I'm going to be doing is using these markers. This is a purple Sharpie or Bic Market, and then I'm going to be using TN2, TN4, GB2, GB4, LV2, GB10, and then a black marker for highlighting, and maybe something else I haven't decided yet. But for right now, those are the colors we're going to shoot for. I do want to blend out using my blender pen. I want to get rid of a little dot of color that I put in that I don't like. It might be too late because of the right in here. I don't like that. So then I want to get my peg stamps. Now, something I wanted to show you is if you look at this bicycle, they do the greatest job of making it so that they've already made the mask so that your flower basket you'll be able to fill your flower basket. See how there's no back to the basket and how the the handlebars are separated? It makes it so that you can stamp your flower garden in there without any problem at all, and I love that. I think it's ingenious, and I've never seen another stamp company do that, so I think that's just really, really bright. Okay, so I'm going to, before I go any further, I want to make sure I do my silver handlebars because I didn't want to forget those. So we'll make sure our bike is silver where it's supposed to be. Marker has some. The reason I brought up the pigment inks and the dye-based inks is because I'm going to be using some pigment inks. These are Stampin' Up's old discontinued line. They're called Craft, but they're pigment inks. And I'm going to be using a bunch of their old colors that aren't available any longer, but it's going to give you the idea of the difference between pigment inks and dye inks. Then I'm also going to be using some inks. These are the Stampin' Up inks that I made into a metallic ink, and I'll link that video somewhere at the end. This is Blackberry Bliss, which is a dark purple color, and then this is a Hero Arts color. It is Passion Flower that I turned into kind of a pearly metallic-y by using some eyeshadow from the Dollar Tree. and the rest are all going to be pigment inks. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started and make sure that we don't touch anything that's wet, because everything that we do here is going to be pigment ink, and those will stay wet, as I said. Okay, these are the stamps I'm going to be using at first. This one is a bitty peony, then this one is 5 sprigs of grass, and I'm going to be using that to fill grass, and then this one is I don't know, Saponaria solid. This one is a foliage leaf that's small. Then I also have a bigger foliage leaf. This is a hyacinth bloom, and they're a really pretty spring flower that's usually dark purple, so I thought it'd be pretty. A pinwheel flower is this one, and then this one is a solid 8 petal, and I think, let me see if there's any more. That's the 5 grass. Let me get you the one more that's the stick. Okay, this is called a sprig that's crackled, and this is a secret. I don't know what that one is. That's just a flower. You can buy all these stamps individually from Rubber Stamp Tapestry. They also are called peg stamps, and you can look them up at pegstamps.com to get the discount. Oh, and the discount is Sandy Parker. Is that fun or what? I'm just so excited. It's so sweet of them. I'm telling you, they're the nicest people. So again, these are the ones we're going to be using, and I thought I would just kind of stamp randomly with some of with the branch first, and that I'm going to be using with a regular dark brown ink. So I'm going to use Farly Espresso. It's a Stampin' Up dye-based ink, as I said, and we're going to just make one little branch, I think, into the center of that. And I think in my bird feeder I'm going to have flowers in there. I don't know though if I'm going to have a sprig or if I'm going to just do some leaves that, you know, kind of build it up. But I do want to have something there that the one that I just put in. Let me do my 5 sprigs of grass a few places. Did all my little grass without any before. The thing that's really nice about these stamps is there's a line right here that tells you exactly where you should be stamping, and it makes it so that it's mistake proof. Well, it is if you pay attention. I sometimes get distracted because I, you know, little ADD on there, that I just forget what I'm doing and miss. But if you pay attention, and if you do, like, you know, if you are doing it like a normal person would, you won't have the problem that I sometimes have. And I'm going to stamp those around the base of my bike basket, so that we know that we have some greenery where we need it. Okay, so let's start with our hyacinth. Then our next one I'm going to use is this Saponaria, and I think I'm going to do that in the lighter purple. Don't forget this. Now we're working with the inks that won't dry. I'm also thinking with these I'm going to put some embossing powder on them, some clear embossing powder. So I'm going to want to make sure I put a couple more flowers in and around there before I finish, just to make sure that everything gets a little bit of color on it. These just don't. Now I think I'm going to get my embossing powder. Just going to do that little wee section, just those little flowers that are right on that basket, just like that. And then I'm gonna that's that section. Now I think what I'm going to do is take some Wink of Stella and kind of make the rest of my image more glittery. Wink of Stella just puts a little bit of shimmer on everything. I do want to make a blue sky, so I'm going to do that before I'm done. And I want to make sure that that's not still wet, and it's not. I might go around the outside with purple, or I might just put it on a purple background. I decided since these flowers are embossed that I would make my other ones embossed. Not the hyacinth, but these ones. And I have this embossing marker, and what I'm going to do is just color in my leaves with it, and then that way we'll be able to make our these little flowers so that they're also embossed like the ones in the bike. I'm not exactly sure what I should do on the on this little birdhouse, because in my opinion that would be where you would put bird seed, but maybe other people would put flowers in there, so maybe we should put some flowers in there. I kind of like it the way it is. I think I'm going with it the way it is, but I am going to take my Wink of Stella now and make some things a little bit shinier. Oops, that's not my Wink of Stella, that's my embossing. And again, jeepers creepers. So I'm going to do my little birdhouse. This just adds a little bit of sparkle and makes, just gives it a little bit more interest. My little birdies. Now I'm going to get my blue brush and do my blue background on the top part. Like that. And this time I'm using Tumbled Glass Distress ink. Hopefully it looks blue. I might have to go with something that looks a little bit more pale blue than that. Almost like a Tiffany blue. Going with that. I think that tumbled glass isn't going to look right with the with that brown background. I think it's going to make it look a little bit weird. So we're going to go with this blue instead. It's darker blue, so it'll make it look like it's either an evening sky or a stormy sky. But it's definitely going to be blue as compared to before when it was iffy on the blue side. It was looking a little bit too green. Made that a little bit darker. I think I'm going to just go around the edges with the blue. Just the top edges, not the part that's green. I think I'm going to use a little bit of a white gel pen and maybe some white pencil as well. I just need to put it on its base and see if it looks like I want it to. So here's our base. I have some fun foam here. We'll just use it. Seems like a plan. good. I like that pop of color with that purple. I think it makes it look nice. Then all we need to do now is make our envelope, and we're done. I'm going to do the zigzag around the bottom and around the back. There. Cut that off. And then I'm going to maybe run a piece in the inside of our card, just so it's a little bit cohesive with our envelope. A little weird piece right there. I'm going to get rid of it. So there's the inside of our envelope. And our outside. So I hope you'll take advantage of the promotion at pegstamps.com. It's 15% off everything in the store, and your promotional code is Sandy Parker. Yay! Sandy Parker, how exciting is that? Anyway, I'm so thrilled. They're just such nice people, and I'm so grateful to them. I really appreciate everyone that subscribed and that watches our videos. Rich and I really are proud of this channel and what we've accomplished with it in this last year and 5 months. So we hope you'll continue to watch our videos and that you'll take advantage of that discount, because that's a great discount, and that you'll give this a thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.